everyone, welcome to WeTV. This is Chris and I'm so happy to see you today because it's another I Can Make day, and you know that I love making things, and we've had a lot of fun making things together, haven't we? And today we're going to keep that fun going because today we're going to make something like that. What is that, you might ask? Well, we call this the Socktopus because it's an octopus made from a sock. So Socktopus. How do you make a Socktopus? Well, let's start with the things you're going to need. You are going to need some socks. Any kind of socks will do. You probably want to make sure they're clean socks, but you don't have to go out and buy socks. The idea is this is something you can make at home with socks that are just left over. You know, we often end up with only one of the two socks. Either the washing machine eats them, or they get lost, or one gets a hole in it. So this is something you can do with your extra socks. You might want to use a marker so you can draw on your sock. We also are going to use some eyes. You know, I have a great collection of eyes and I love to use them. And we're going to use some pipe cleaners, and we'll get to why we use the pipe cleaners in a little bit. We will also use some rice, some uncooked rice. Don't use cooked rice. You really don't use cooked rice. And we're also going to use some rubber bands. Oh no, they're everywhere. Yes, we are going to need some tools for this. We're going to need our glue gun, and you will probably need a pair of scissors as well. Let's go through the steps. First, you want to put some rice in the sock, and that's going to make the head of the octopus. Next, you're going to wrap a rubber band around the sock to make sure that the rice does not fall out. And then we're going to cut the rest of the sock into 8 strips because that's going to be the 8 legs of the octopus. Then we can take the pipe cleaners, and you want to cut them to be the right size and then glue them into those leg strips for the octopus, and that way you'll be able to bend and pose the legs of the octopus instead of them just being floppy. Okay? Are you ready? Let's get started. Let's make. Alright, first let's start with the sock. The first thing we're going to do is cut the sock off here to make it nice and even. And then when we fill the sock, remember from before when we made the sock bunnies, we thought it was easier to use something like this. You put the sock through, and then you can put the sock around, and then that will hold the sock in place and make it much easier to put the rice inside. Alright, let's go ahead and pour the rice in. Oh no! There's rice everywhere. But that's okay. Let's add some more rice. See how this goes. And of course I can push this down a little bit more. And yeah, that's too much rice. That is too much rice. So I'm going to stretch the sock a little and try to push the rice farther down because I want it to be nice and round. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. And now I'm going to wrap a rubber band around it, and I can keep pushing this down. Try and get that nice and tight. Nice. I like a nice round shape for my Socktopus. Okay, next we want to cut legs out of this, and we want to be able to have 8 legs. So we want to try to cut this evenly if possible. What I'm going to do is there is a seam in the sock, and I'm going to try to first cut it through that seam. So now I have 2 legs. We can cut those 2 legs in half by going the other way. Okay. Now I have 4 legs, and then I'll cut each of these 4 in half, and we will have 8 legs. So we've cut the 8 legs, and as you see, it does look a lot like an octopus because, you know, an octopus does often have its legs kind of curled around. So you could just leave the legs like that. But I think it will be more interesting to put the pipe cleaners into the legs to give them shape and give them structure. So let's go ahead and get going on that. Now, if you look, my pipe cleaner is much bigger than my legs, right? So of course, we need to cut the pipe cleaner. And I'll just cut a bunch of pipe cleaners about the same size. And it doesn't matter what color pipe cleaners I use because they're going to be hidden inside the Socktopus. So what I'm going to do is place the pipe cleaner into the sock. And I want it to come about to the end of the sock. And I made them actually longer than the legs so that they can extend into the body part of the Socktopus. And now I'm going to put down some glue. Always be careful when you're working with hot glue so you don't burn your fingers. So first I'm gluing this to the sock, like so. And now what I want to do is glue the sock around it. And in this case, you do want to maybe stretch it a little. So the first one's done. We've got 7 more to go. So now my octopus has 8 legs, and they all stand out a little more. And I'm going to make this the front, so let's go ahead and give it some eyes. What eyes should our octopus have? Oh, let's go with big eyes. Again, be careful when you're using your hot glue. So I just put on a blob of hot glue, put on the eye. A blob of hot glue, and put on the eye. That part's easy. Much easier than putting those pipe cleaners in the legs. When you're putting the pipe cleaners in the legs, if you're going to do it the way I did it, you want to put a little bit of glue on the top of the pipe cleaner and then let it sit for a couple of seconds before you try to pinch the rest of the material around it. That way the hot glue won't be quite so hot because you will burn your fingers on the hot glue, and it can be really bad, so be very careful with that part. And if you want, you could draw a mouth on your octopus. I think I just want to pose it with its legs bent up. Alright, since I've done that, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and make one more. So as you can see, I made 3 Socktopuses. I made this kind of beige one, this black one, and this dark gray one. And I know what you're saying. Hey Chris, that dark gray one is not a Socktopus because it has 8 eyes. Well, yes, you're right. It's not a Socktopus. It's a spider. That's why it has 8 eyes. And they are all crazy eyes. So I had a lot of fun. I hope that you enjoy doing this project as well. Please send me pictures of your completed Socktopus or Socktospider. And join us next time on WeTV. I'll see you then. Goodbye, everyone.